Welcome back to our second count right here on Roughing It Up. I am honored to welcome in one half of the Headbangers, former WWE Tag Team Champion, Mosh. Welcome to the show, man. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you? Thanks for having me
Well,
on.
hanging in there. Of course, anytime, man.
Mosh, how you doing, brother? You might have seen me last when I was in diapers, maybe.
Well, possibly, yeah, possibly. I don't know if they were your diapers or your dad's, but some kind of diapers.
No, his was
Fun,
depends.
Oh,
funny,
depends. Well,
Yeah.
funny thing.
you know why? So here's the difference with diapers between so when you're a baby, your diapers are loves and huggies and things like that. And then because you want to be taking care of your baby. But you know why they're called depends for adults?
Depends on what day it is.
Oh, it depends on who's going to wipe your ass or not.
There you go.
Depends on who's in your will and who's not. That's what it depends on.
Yeah, who you give money to?
Exactly.
Brian, so you said the last time you saw Chaz was when you were in diapers. When did you see him last week?
Oh,
Jimmy.
well,
You're supposed to be on my fucking side.
Hey, hey, you know
Wow.
what? Sorry, bro.
Very-
Hey, Jazz and I go back a lot longer than you and I. I can't help it.
yes.
It's okay. It's okay. So, hey, I want to first start with this for me. I was going through our show notes and the dirt sheet. You know what that is, right?
Yeah, we used to have those back in the day before we had cell phones and computers, and yes,
Okay. Okay.
and that was before everyone was smart. So yes,
I got you.
Mhm.
So I'm not shocked that you were or still maybe am. I was just shocked because you're a professional wrestler and you don't find this, but you were a hell of an athlete, brother. You could
um,
do it all.
you mean you said you were, or I still am?
I don't know if you still am or not. I know you were. Are you still a phenomenal athlete?
I'm gonna say yeah. I mean, I'm still playing sports. I still run. I play kickball. I play softball. I play soccer, and I play with 25 to 30 year olds. And yeah, I run circles around some of them still. So yeah, I'll brag on that. Yes.
Wow. So what do you do to stay in shape to be able to run with these 25-year-old bucks?
Um, Kickball, softball, and soccer. I don't.
The sport, the sport that it is.
I don't do any cardio whatsoever other than walking my dog. I mean, I go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. That's it. But as far as cardio and stuff goes, again, the biggest cardio I have is probably walking my dog.
Now, where are you out of?
Right now, I live down in South Florida now, like just south of West. I'm 20 minutes south of West Palm Beach.
That's where all you go. Everybody goes.
Listen, it's warm down here. I don't want to be. I don't want to be like Jimmy and shoveling snow.
That's a great point right there.
Yeah, I mean,
You talk-
today it was seven. I was out camping this weekend, and during the day it was 70 degrees. It was 55 at night. Great sleeping weather. Yeah, so in the middle of the winter, instead of snow, I get a little bit of rain, and it's still 75, 80 degrees.
Wow.
Everyone gets their cardio in a different way, and shoveling snow is my way of getting cardio
I
at my
understand.
advanced age.
You're advanced. Well, it all depends, Jimmy. It's like you and I can relate to that. It's either the
Oh,
fluffy stuff, or it's a heart attack snow.
you went straight to the depends again, hey, and pointed at me. All right, RJ, I'll
No,
remember
not yet,
that.
anyways.
Okay.
Hey, can I call you Chaz? Is that okay?
Of course, I don't know what
Okay.
to call me.
All right, cool. So let me ask you this. Your career is storied. Your tag team career is storied. And this is a personal question for me. You face so many good, awesome teams. Could you break it down to who your favorite team was to work with and tell me why?
Simple.
Okay. Ooh,
I have two tops. Number one would be the Godwins.
I love them.
Yeah, they're Henry and Phineas are the best. Loved working them because we had such great chemistry with them, and we got along so well. They were just easy. They were sorry. We were just talking about this last night. The, when you have characters or someone who can get a reaction out of the crowd, it's so much easier to work them because
Mhm.
I get a reaction, they get a reaction, you feed off of one another. Those they were my favorite. And then second team would be the Outlaws, New Age Outlaws, Billy and Road Dog. because again, they were easy to and they were fun. Um, when you're in the ring and you're in the ring every night as much as we were back then, 250 to 300 days a year, unlike now, um, you got to have good chemistry and you got to get along and you got to like the people you're working with. And they just made it so easy, those four guys, when we got to work with them.
Wow.
I hate using the term. It's almost like when you're working with someone like that, it's almost like a night off. I hate using that term because it's not a night off. You guys are still working, but when you talk about that chemistry, it feels natural
It
working
was. It
together.
was just easy. And then, you know what each other's going to do because you're in the ring, 6 months straight, 4 nights a week, with the same two guys. And even those country whipping matches we had with the Godwins, I mean, we beat the shit out of each other with those straps, but it was fun. We came back laughing. And every night it was like, all right, who has more marks on them? And, and it was just fun. Um, it was a night off with the Godwins for me, or not the Godwins, with the New Age Outlaws for me when I would take the heat because it was fine. And all of a sudden I was like, Glenn, you take the heat tonight. And a couple nights, Glenn would take the heat and he would come back. He goes, we need to switch. I'm like, why? He goes, I'm sore. They beat the shit out of me. So Billy and Road Dogg literally would beat the shit out of Glenn. And me, it was like they wouldn't touch me. It was all, they would run Glenn. For some odd reason, they would run him and make him bump 100 times in a match. And me, it was kick, punch, choke, kick, punch, choke. And it was amazing.
Did you get along with your partner really well?
Um, yeah, we got along. I mean, we're still, I guess, together. It'll be 33 years in June, for us. And yeah, we live 10 minutes. He finally moved down here. So we're like 10, 15 minutes away from one another. So, I mean, we obviously had, all those years on the road, we bickered a lot, we fought a lot, but at the same time, we laugh a lot. And, he's one of my best friends. He's one of those guys, very few people, we all have those very few people that we know if something happened, they would drop anything and be like, all right, so where are we burying the body? And Glenn's obviously one of those for me.
So you're like my twin daughters. You could shit kick each other, talk all kinds of shit, but then when it came down to it, no one else could talk about him and no one could talk about you,
Yeah.
or it's on.
Yeah, same thing. So it's funny because my brother and I, my real brother, we're 16 months apart, and that's how we were growing up. We would beat the shit out of each other all the time. But as soon as someone messed with the other one, oh, that guy's in trouble. That would be the same thing with Glenn and I. Yeah.
That's cool though. That's cool.
No, it's awesome. It was, I'm very fortunate that I think for me, my career was meant to be the way it happened. Like the timing of me getting to the school, the timing of Glenn starting to think, okay, like the singles thing isn't working out. I want to try, a tag team, and us just clicking. I mean, we clicked right off the bat from the time I had my first, when I had my tryout, like we just clicked. And when I started at the school, we were hanging out. First time I met his mom was in his basement. And we were only hanging out maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and she walks down and she goes, "Oh, I heard you're Chaz." And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And I stand up. As I stand up, she slaps me right across the face. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" I go, "What?" And she goes, "I heard you're just like Glenn. So that's for everything you're about to do or the stuff you've done in the past."
Oh wow.
That's funny.
Well, that
So, so,
that's a
so, oh, go ahead. Okay.
well, I was just gonna, coming from, the Northeast, because you raised in Jersey, right?
Yes, South Jersey, right outside Philly.
So I noticed, obviously, being helping getting trained by Glenn, you said, and then the great Larry Sharp has been a household name in the Northeast as far as professional wrestling training goes. Just the impact that he had on your career earlier on there, and was there any influence as you took it, like you mentioned, going into that trial for the company?
You mean influence from Larry?
Yeah.
For me, there was not a lot.
Yeah.
And Glenn was the trainer. He was the head trainer. Glenn took maybe a month off when I first started. That first summer I started because he had a herniated disc in his back. And Larry really just came out and kind of critiqued, but never really did anything. So for me, my experience with Larry is way different than Glenn's because Larry basically trained Glenn. Glenn basically me. So I didn't have that close knit relationship with Larry that Glenn did. I was always kind of, when we would hang out, like after when it's, after training or whatever, I was always kind of that third wheel. And so my relationship with Larry wasn't really there. There wasn't a really big influence other than having the school there, and that which gave me the opportunity, obviously, to learn. Because if it wasn't for the Monster Factory being where it was, which was 15 minutes from where I lived in New Jersey, I don't know if I would have made it. I don't know if I would have went to a school. I don't know if I would have went away, because I actually went to the Route 30 Mart in Clementon, New Jersey, where the school was. I went there just to watch an independent show. And I didn't even know what an independent show was. I just saw pro wrestling live Saturday night, and I walked in. I had no idea. And then I found out it was a school, and then I tried out just thinking, oh, this would be fun to do. And then it just kind of took off. Like, I would have never gone away, to try to train to wrestle. I would have never done it.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, I have a cool fun fact to say. I'm pretty sure this was the first time you all won the WWF tag titles, or if not the second. It was the first time I remember, but uh, I was in the crowd, in a little young lad, and I believe it was 1997 at Ground Zero in your house in Louisville, Kentucky. It was where I'm from, of course. And then you all in a fatal four-way tag match. I think it's when y'all won your first tag team titles, that pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken. It might be your second one, but what was it like? But the reason I'm bringing that up is it's funny that I was there. But what was it like when you get the call? Hey, we got you're doing so well. You're over. Here we go. We're putting the straps on you right now to take this division to the another level.
Um, well, it was the first and only WWF tag titles we won. So yes, you
Yeah,
are. It was Ground
yeah.
Zero. Louisville. The other ones we won when we were there.
Jazz, why did it feel like so many more? For some reason, it felt like more.
I mean, we had tons of indies, and then we had the NWA title, and
Yeah.
and then we created the tag team championship universe, with the fake foam belts. So we were always
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go. I
we were
remember.
mix
Yeah.
of those, and that's a funny story
Mhm.
came up also. But the craziest part about Ground Zero is we were not even originally on that pay-per-view. That was right before SummerSlam, was right before then, when Stone Cold hurt his neck wrestling.
Right.
Oh,
Oh, no.
So
Yep.
Steve and Dude Love,
Dude Love. Yep.
yeah, they were tag champs, so they couldn't. So they were supposed to be a four-way. They couldn't do it. So we found out about a week before, hey, you guys are taking their spot. So we're like, cool. That's all we knew. We showed up in the Louisville Garden, and Cornette grabbed us, and he goes, boys, you got to come. I got to talk to you. And we were like, oh shit, what did we do now? Because the last time Cornette had to talk to us, it was something we did that was outside of wrestling, and it was. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was funny.
you want to
The,
share that?
that story's in my book. I can share it.
Oh, no, no, no.
Yeah, but
It's in the book.
the story's in the book.
Okay.
And this story's in the book also, but this is one of my favorite stories. Because Cornette was such a huge impact on us. And so Cornette takes us down what I call the bowels of the Louisville Garden into the parking garage. And he takes
Yeah.
way back in a dark corner. And we're like, shit, Jimmy, what did we do that's that bad that we're down here? He's like, you didn't do anything bad. We're like, okay. So he goes, just come with me. So again, dark corner. And he goes, I just wanted to bring you guys down here and let you know that you guys are going over for the titles tonight. And we just stood there to go, and I'm like, cool. This is cool. No. Jimmy goes, no, I brought you down here so you could jump around like little kids, like I know you want to. So the three of us were in the bowels of the Louisville Garden, jumping up and down and hugging each other. And then when it came time to talk the match, all eight of us are together. And I think it was Lanza who was our agent. And, they're like, okay, so here's what's going to happen here. And then this is going to happen. And it's just going to be Davey Boy and Owen and the Headbangers left. And I immediately go like this, like just, there's no video. I cover my mouth because like I was smiling so big and it was hard for me to hold it in. And he was like, then Stone Cold's going to come down. He's going to put you in a sharpshooter. You guys will go for your finish. I want to put you in a sharpshooter. Steve will be there. You'll kick him off, stunner, you cover, 1, 2, 3. And I was like, this is amazing. Not only we're winning, but I get to get the pin, and I'm pinning Owen Hart. Like, this is
Wow.
the greatest thing. And when they got done, and we were like, cool, kind of sitting there trying to keep our cool. And it was great because the Godwins stood up and they were like, you guys can smile. We know how you are. It's okay. Good. And then they like stood up and then they like gave us hugs and like like everyone started hugging. Like we had a little party in the locker room before we even won the belts. Um, yeah, so that's how we found out. So it wasn't anything that led up to it or weren't told anything. And then the next night at Raw, Vince was sitting in the makeup chair getting ready. And we walked over to Vince and thanked him. We're like, hey, thanks. Like this, this means so much to us. And he turned around. He goes, no, thank you. He goes, you guys have earned it. He goes, you guys do everything we ask. He goes, you guys are great at appearances. He goes, I'm just excited to see what comes next. And we were like, cool, next? Like, okay. And then that night on Raw, we went out and lost to the Godwins. But still, we lost
He's
a
a
non-title match to the Godwins. So,
man of his word, man of his word.
yeah, it was cool.
That's amazing.
So
That's
what
amazing.
did the gimmick headbangers really mean to you? And like what did it I know what it meant. Okay, but I'm saying, but what did it mean to y'all deep down? What did it mean?
At first, or what it means now?
Both. Actually, what did it mean when you were winning belts, when you were in the prime of your careers, and what does it mean now?
So at first, it meant an opportunity to go to Smoky Mountain Wrestling. It was
Okay.
an opportunity for us to, because we were wrestling as the Spiders with the masks. We originally went to USWA as the Spiders, and then Burt Prentice opened Ozark Mountain Wrestling. We were over there with Burt in Arkansas. Still wrestling as the Spiders. Cornette. That's when Ricky and Robert and Tracy Smothers were coming over to Ozark Mountain, and they kept going back and telling Cornette about us. Glenn knew Cornette from before I started, and then finally, we sent a couple tapes. Then we finally got a phone call from Cornette, and he said, "Hey," he goes, "I'd like to bring you guys in." He goes, "But I don't like the masks." He goes, "I'm not a fan of hoods." He goes, "But I had this idea." He said he was in, this is actually funny. He was in New York at a Glenn Danzig concert. And he goes, they were stage diving. He goes, they were beating the shit out of each other. He goes, guys were wearing dress tattoos, they had piercings. He said it was just they were spitting on one another. He goes, it was crazy. And he goes, for some reason, I picture you guys with your northeast attitude, being able to pull this off. And I knew exactly what he was talking about. I'm a heavy metal fan. I had been to concerts at the Bank in Philly with friends of mine. I was stage diving. I was in mosh pits. I just liked it because it was physical, and you got a chance to punch people and hit people and kick people without getting in trouble for it.
You
So
sound like a really mean man, but go ahead.
I'm a big sweetheart. Um, so at first, the meaning of the Headbangers was it was an opportunity to get to Smoky Mountain and learn from Cornette, and then obviously being on the territories back then, we were able to kind of groom it into what it was when we got to WWE. And then once we got to WWE, it slowly started to evolve without us even realizing it. It started to evolve into more of a following, a culture. We had so many people come up, especially now. I have a lot, and there's a great story at the end of my book about this. But people would come up to us and say, "Hey, because of you, I was able to be me." Because our whole thing was, why do you wear skirts? Well, because we can. Like, why do you have tattoos? Because we can. What's with the earrings? Why not? Like, what's it? Are we hurting you? No, we're not hurting you. This is what makes us happy. As long as we're not hurting you, this is what we do. So it kind of evolved into that. And like I said, there's a lot of people that have come up to us over the years. And there's one particular, again, this story's in the back of the book. I won't tell the whole story, but basically she came up and she said to us, she goes, "I always knew I was different." This was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. She goes, "I always knew I was different." She goes, "But I didn't know what it was." She goes, "But I knew the one thing that made me bond with my dad was watching wrestling." She goes, "I watched WWF." She goes, "When you guys were coming out and doing your own thing and saying it's okay, like it doesn't cares, my dad kind of got me and understood me. So it helped me bond with my dad." So
Incredible.
yeah, it evolved into whatever. I don't know how to term that, but it evolved into that. So that's just what we've always said. It's like, we are who we are. And if you like us, great. If you don't, I don't care either way. It's just, we're here to have fun and we're going to do our own thing.
I
So
think it's
all this,
amazing. That gimmick
I
that
think,
was pitched to you though was it
yeah.
worked out.
Yeah, no, it worked great. And it was timely also. Back then when we first got there, everybody was a character. You had
Right. Yes.
pig farmers, you had this, you had that. Everyone was a character. So our character came in, but it was realistic because that's what was going on at the time was, the grunge was there, grunge rock, the mid 90s.
And that was huge in the 90s.
Yeah, it was big. So we kind of filled in perfectly with the timing of it. The gimmick did.
You know what I wish we had? I really wish we had your interest music because I don't remember it. And I know if I heard it, I would. Um, was it like was it like grunge?
It was actually I can find it real quick. No, it was actually Rad Radford's music.
No way.
Yeah, it was his music. And then we always kept asking for new music and we were always told we were going to get it, but we never got it.
It's like dun, 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 something like that.
Hold
I'm
on,
not
hold
sure.
on. I'm working on it. Hold on, give me a second.
All right, go ahead, Jimmy, while we do all this.
No, well, I think I'm. Oh, wait, he's got it. He's got it. He got it.
Maybe
If he's
not.
got it, I wanna
Go
hear
ahead. Go ahead, Jimmy. Just you can. It'll come in when I just got to get it.
No,
Actually,
let's start.
uh,
set.
Here it is.
There's-
I do remember now.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to cut it off before we get copyright infringement again.
No,
We
no, but
actually
look
got
at that.
when we went back in 2016, people were like commenting on Twitter, or Instagram, or whatever, going, "Why didn't you guys have your original music? Like, why did you change your music?" And my answer was, when we went back in 2016 for that first time, I didn't even hear the music. I don't even know what the music was. I was so into what was about to happen
Wow.
that I didn't even know there was music playing. I
Okay.
knew there was music, but I didn't know what it was, or old music or what it was.
Switching gears because you brought up coming up in June, it's going to be 33 years with you and Glenn together. You guys are winding it down, is my
Yes.
understanding.
Yes.
The Headbangers will be no more.
No, the headbangers will still be. We're
Yeah.
just in ring,
In-ring. Okay.
in ring stuff. It's just time. Yeah. My love. I've always said, as long as somebody pays me what I want, I'll go, and as long as I'm having fun, and as long as I feel I'm still performing at the top level where a fan won't come up to me and go, "Oh yeah, you look good, but you're slowed down," or you see a comment online of someone saying, "Hey, the headbangers look like shit in the ring. They're slow, they're this or that," and not that I'm slow, and I know I can still go, and we're still doing shows, and we get around everything to make it entertaining, but it's just the fun side starting to go down a little bit,
Mhm.
and it's just if you take a bump that's a little bit crooked, it's sore for a few more days longer, and it's just the timing of it's just there. And the funniest part is we've been getting a lot of calls and emails and texts about doing. Oh, it's you're on your final tour, like can we do another match? Can you do this match? Can you do a show here? Can you do a show there? I'm like, holy shit! Now I know why people do a 3-year retirement thing, because they keep getting booked on more shows. But I don't want to be Glenn, and I don't want to be those guys that say, "Hey, this is our last match," and then 3 months later we're in a ring again. Unless, and I did say this in our video, the only way we will tag together in a ring is if WWE calls, obviously, or if Japan calls, because I still have yet to be to Japan. So anyone can get me booked to Japan, I will go. Yeah.
Now, I gotta admit, these wrestle cons and these get-togethers, the thing I enjoy most about them is getting to see people I haven't seen for years, for a long, long time. But one of the things that kind of catches me off guard is when someone says to you, I don't know if you feel the same way, when you haven't seen someone for, let's say, a decade or so, and they look at you and they go, you know what? You look good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what did you expect? I'm like, you know what I mean?
Well,
There's,
there,
it's,
yeah, I get it all the time. I get it all the time. Oh my God, you look great. You look the same. And I'm like, yeah, I just got a little bit of gray.
right.
Um, and they say that, and I'm like, oh, thanks. I know it's a compliment.
Mhm.
But there are, and I'm not naming names, but there are unfortunately a lot of guys from our era, Jimmy, that are not in great shape, that
Mhm.
have their issues and their things. But my thing has always been I have a son that's 21 years old, and I've always wanted to stay in shape because, again, he's physical, he's active, and he was doing jujitsu when he was younger, and I'm like, I got to keep up with this kid because there ain't no way in hell. Like he's taller than I am now. He's not bigger, he's taller. But I still make sure he knows that I can take him down and tie him up if I need to. Um, I
Well,
think
aren't you kind of leading by example though?
I think so. Yeah.
I have a 22-year-old son,
Okay.
and he plays high level college baseball. He's a big kid. I don't know where he gets it. I really don't. He's a big kid. He's a little bit taller than me. He's a more stocky built dude. I'm in great shape. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I mean I'm in good shape, and I just feel like he looks at me and goes, "Look at my dad. My dad looks good. I need to get to the gym. You know what I mean? Like I got to stay in shape." And I think kind of it sounds like you're feeling that way too.
Possibly. I mean, he played, like I said, he did jujitsu when he was younger. He played soccer at a very high level. He was recruited by multiple colleges and then just decided that he wanted to go to college just to go to college, but he's still playing. He's big into working out and fitness and dieting. And he actually comes to my house and he'll go through my closet and be like, Dad, this is junk. Throw this away. Type of food, like grass-fed beef, grass-fed protein powder. Um, I mean, it could be because he saw me for the most part, and I get people, and Glenn's one of them every now and then who throws out there like Glenn's got his issues with weight. He's up and down, up and down, up and down, and he says to me, he goes, "Oh, you just have good genetics." I go, "Yeah, maybe," but at the same time, I go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week.
Right.
I don't buy shit food. I don't eat potato chips. And when we get on an airplane at 6 in the morning, I'm not getting a Coke like you are. So yes, there's a little bit of a difference there. Or when I go into his hotel room the next morning and there's an entire Papa John's pizza box empty, that, that might have to do with it too. But I'm just saying that, yeah, when I feel, you know your body, Brian. You know how, and if something
Good.
starts a little bit off, or you start feeling a little pudgy, you're like, shit, time to cut down. Um, I just feel like it. And again, I'm still active. I still do sports, and I like running circles around these 25, 30-year-olds.
No, well, you look great. You do. I know that our audience can't see that, but um, how old are you? Can I ask you that?
I'm 54.
Wow, you do look great. You
I'll
look great.
be 55 in May. Thank you.
Okay, you started late with a 21-year-old.
Um, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm trying to think. It was yeah, he was born in '04. So yeah,
that'd be right. Mine was '03. Yeah,
yeah.
good for you, man. You look great.
Thank,
Keep doing what you're doing.
thank.
All right, so I know you guys, go back way back. You like to have fun, go on these conventions and things like that. I'm gonna say that firsthand. I'll tell you a story. You guys do like to have fun and have shenanigans because it's Sports Circle Expo about a year or so ago. We're booked on the show. I'm refereeing. You guys got a tag match, and I'm out in the ring. No big deal. Come back and I don't think anything of it. I go grab my phone, and next thing I know, I have like 50 pictures on my phone of like Rhino's boob.
That was your
He's
phone.
ass. That was my phone. Yeah, yeah. And like everybody's, just I don't know what all stuff I can't even put online that was on here. I think Glenn's may have gave me a shot of what his trunks looks like. I don't know, like his underwear. Like it was so much shenanigans, selfies, whatnot. It was fun, and I didn't delete a thing of them. I probably should, but I thought, well, they're here for a reason, so I'll just leave them there. But yeah, that was about 50 pictures.
I was going to say there's got to be more than 50 pictures because you literally had your phone in your hand and you
Yeah,
put it down and you walk through the curtain and Glenn goes,
yeah.
"Oh, he just fucked up." I go, "Oh no."
Oh my God.
Picked it up and yeah, it was a photo shoot in the locker room. Um, Glenn holding his skirt open, holding his boxers open. Yeah, there was a photo shoot of everything going on.
Oh no.
That was your phone. That's
Yeah.
freaking hysterical.
I don't know
Yes.
what I don't know what I would do with that. I would be like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh my God, there were so many pictures. It was just shenanigans of nothing.
Yeah. Some I can share, some I cannot. So let's put it
Yeah.
that way. That's
Yeah, no, I
yeah.
agree with, yeah, you hit that. Yeah, some could be shared, some could not.
Thank-
Yeah, we
thank-
like to, you know, Glenn's a big ribber. He tries saying it was me, but I don't like doing ribs.
Wait a minute. That one photo was yours on there?
Oh, I mean, I tried took some, yes.
Okay, all right.
I'm saying in general, uh, I'm not a big ribber because I don't like to be ribbed back. I don't like the consequence. There's one thing we used to do. We got Ken Shamrock with this 3 or 4 times, and then he caught Glenn, and we stopped doing it. So when you go to the hotel door opens into the room. It doesn't open out to the hallway. It opens into the room. So we would take the trash can, fill it up halfway, 3/4 with water. Then you tilt it, lean it up against the door, and then you knock on the door. When they open the door, what happens?
Water
Water
falls
goes
over
in.
in.
It's all over the feet. Yeah, so we got Shamrock with that 2 or 3 times until he caught Glenn, and then we never did that to him again.
Yeah, I bet not.
They were senseless pranks. There was one time we were in Cincinnati for Les Thatcher for this Heartland wrestling, and he got us a room, and we were only staying in the room. We knew we were only staying in the room for like 5 or 6 hours. So we got done. We went to the room and we took a nap because then we were driving. I don't know, to Timbuktu after that. And there was guys staying in the room. We knew there was going to be people come in the room after us to stay. So we took every single light bulb out. We rearranged the room, every single light bulb, bathroom, everything. Took them all out. We put them in a drawer, and then we rearranged the entire room. And then we took the mattress. So there's 2 beds. So we took the mattresses from both beds and somehow leaned them up against the door. So when they tried to get in the room, they weren't going to be able to get in because of the door. And then when they would get in, the mattresses would fall over. They would trip over the mattress, and it would be pitch dark because we knew they weren't getting there until after the show. So just innocent, fun stuff like that we did.
Wow.
Harmless
Wow.
ribs.
Harmless.
Yeah,
Of course.
So Chaz, what you're gonna love this. When I was breaking in, I was just doing the East Coast loops, and I got this huge pop when I went out, and I'm not on TV or anything. I'm just doing like house shows and stuff. And got this huge pop, and I'm walking down to the ring, and the fans are going crazy. And you're younger, right? So you're thinking, "Shit, I'm over.
yeah.
I'm fucking over. Fucking everybody knows me. Shit." Well, nobody knows me. They don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't even have my given name. I'm Brian Weber. And anyway, I get in the ring, and Chimmel's in the ring, and there's this big post-it note on my back that says, "I'm a piece of shit. Cheer for me because I suck." Well, guess who did it? Owen Hart.
I love it.
And Chimmel pulls it off my back, shows it to the crowd. And of course, they even go more crazier. And I'm like, now I don't want them to go crazy because I'm like, I'm not a piece of shit. I'm not. I promise. It was awful. It was awful.
That's Owen.
Yeah, it was.
Owen and Davy Boy with the ribs were they were the masters. They were the best.
It was scary, man. It was
wasn't,
scary.
I wasn't even there.
I wasn't even there. This is a great Davy Boy story. So we were flying overseas, and on those international flights, you were allowed to smoke. And so we were up in the first class area. We were maybe 6 rows from the front of the plane, and the guy in the last, say, the 6th row, Davy Boy was in the 5th row. The guy's smoking. He's blowing the smoke over Davy's head.
Oh no!
And Davy's like, hey, can you put the cigarette out? And the guy's like, no, I'm allowed to smoke. He goes, okay. He goes, well, can you at least go up to the front? Like there's a big vent and, on the bulkhead, at least go up there and blow it. Guy's like, no. He goes, I'm allowed to do it. I'm going to smoke. Davy goes, okay. Davy sits down. He's sitting there, he's sleeping. The guy gets up, goes into the bathroom. Davey jumps up out of his seat. He opens the overhead, grabs the guy's bag, pulls the bag out, unzips his bag, takes out, the guy had a carton of cigarettes.
Cracked them
Davey
all.
boy crumpled all of them up and left them on the guy's seat. It's not like he crumpled them up and put them back in the bag. He
Oh
crumpled up
no.
cigarettes on the guy's seat, zips the bag up, puts the bag up on the top, sits down in his chair, crosses his arm, he's got his head back. So now we're all waiting, like, oh, the fireworks are about to happen. I comes out of the bathroom. He looks down at the seat. And he goes, "What the fuck?" And Davey boy goes, "It wasn't me. I wasn't even there."
No.
Classic. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Davey
amazing
boy
because
and Owen. Davey boy could be downright mean if he wanted to be.
Yoko could too, man.
I wasn't around with Yoko.
Oh, I was. Ooh.
here's
No.
the funny thing with Davy Boy. I know he hated the smoking, but Tommy was a smoker.
Tommy who?
Billington. Tommy
Billington?
Dynamite.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, he
Oh, I
was a
didn't know
smoker.
that.
Yeah, we used to. I was
Never
I was
met
a smoker
Dynamite.
back in the day too. Yeah, so
Yeah, I
Which
never
know it.
I never met Dynamite, so I don't. Yeah, that I don't know.
which has. Let's talk about what's not a rib.
Okay,
Your book.
Your book.
book is not a rib. Thank goodness.
It's
I'm
not
sure
a
there's
rib.
ribs in there, but it's not a rib. Yes, it's a real thing, and I can't wait to actually hold it in my hand and then read it.
So you haven't held it yet.
No, it's still pre-order, so it's
Okay.
in, like, I guess final edits of, okay, so where are we putting pictures and with the words and stuff like that. So it's on pre-order, and I'm guessing within the next week and a half, I'll say by the 12th or 13th, it should be out and ready.
All right.
Nice.
So it's called Beneath the Skirt.
Called Beneath the Skirt. It's basically my memoir. It's about from the first day that I walked into the Monster Factory in June of '93 to when my contract expired in January of '02. And then in the book is the 2016 story went back. So the book's kind of cool the way I set it up, because the beginning's about 2016 went back, and then I stop it. Then I tell the whole story, and then I finish the book with 2016 when
Wow.
when we went back. Yeah, so basically the book it's about me. It's about what I was going through. You know, especially the independence part when I first started. You know, we went to USWA and Ozark Mountain and Smoky Mountain. You know, the struggles that I was going through. I was very insecure, and you know, Glenn was the leader. Glenn and I had a lot of bickering, but you know, we had to tough it out to get to where we got. You know, the nights on the road where, you know, for Ozark Mountain, I do a cage match, and it's the biggest house we've ever had for Ozark Mountain Wrestling. And when I say that, I'm saying there was maybe like 200 people there, and I'm thinking, yes, I'm finally going to get a paycheck. And no, I got an envelope with a Post-it in it that said payoff $5 minus $1 for hot dog, $1 for soda, and there was $3 in nickels and dimes in the envelope.
Wow, dude.
So yeah, so it's stories like that, and it's stories of, you know, when I got to WWF, you know, everyone sees what happens on TV. You know, for instance, when I was Beaver Cleavage, and then they made me Chaz, and I was just happy, a kid from Jersey, happy to be there with my girlfriend. I can't tell you how many people reached out to me going, "Oh, we didn't know you had a girlfriend." I'm like, "It's TV. Like, I don't have a girlfriend." But there was friction between her and I behind the scenes. So it's basically what you see on TV, and then what was going through my mind, my thoughts, what I was happy about, what I wasn't happy about, as I went through it. It's not a dirt book. I don't talk shit about people. I don't trash people. There are
Fuck, why not?
there are because that's not me. I want it to be you know, it's not about, and plus I don't want someone to rebut me 2 years later, right, Jimmy?
No, of course.
And
Yeah.
when they write their book. But no, I mean, there's people in there that I wasn't a fan of, and that comes across, but it comes across in the right way, I guess, not a nice or wrong way, but it
A
comes
polite way.
the right way. Yeah. So yeah, so it's just my thoughts, what was going through my head when I was going through what I was going through. A great example is when we were still, so when Glenn and I first signed with WWF in November of 96, we were part-time. We had part-time contracts. So because of Shotgun Saturday Night and because we lived where we lived in New Jersey and they did it in New York, we were booked on all of the Shotgun Saturday Nights. Because of that, we started getting over with the fans. You know, Shotgun Saturday Night was in New York in nightclubs, and there we are in, you know, heavy metal t-shirts, skirts, face paint. So, you know, that helped get us over. Without that, I don't think we get over as quickly as we did. But there was an overseas tour. So Glenn and I were booked on our first loop of house shows. It was like 8 or 9 days. We were going over every night. So we're like, this is amazing. We're part-time. Like anything happened, our first thing was, we're still part-time and this is happening. So we're part-time, we're going over, and now we go back to New York, the Manhattan Center for Monday Night Raw. And we're in the back and we're doing, you know, back then, Brian, I don't know if you were around for them, but you would get like Finkel would come up and pull you in the back and hand you scripts, and you had to sit there and read it for like radio and stuff like that. So that's what we were doing. And all of a sudden we get handed a script that says, hey, we're WrestleMania 13's coming. We're in a 4-way tag match. And we like stopped and we're like, wait, we're in WrestleMania? Like,
oh wow.
Like, yeah, you didn't know? We're like, no one told us. So, you know, we find that out. Then later on that night, we get our booking envelope, and it says the next day we had to be somewhere in New York to get head scans. And we're like, head scans? What do we need head scans for? They're like, oh, you don't know? We're like, no. They're like, oh, it's for your action figures. You guys are getting action figures. We're like, what? We're getting action figures? So we're in WrestleMania and we're getting action figures. We're like, this is amazing. And we were winning for 10 days on the road. Like, this is the greatest, you know, 2 weeks we've ever had. And then it was right, like I said, it was right before WrestleMania 13 when LOD was coming back. So LOD hadn't been on TV in 4 or 5 years. So they put the run sheet up and there it said LOD versus the Headbangers. And we went, oh, fuck. They haven't been on TV for 4 years. Yeah, we're about to get squashed. Like, well, there goes all that. Like, all the excitement was gone. And Hawk and Animal came over to us and they're like, hey, let's go out and, you know, let's talk. And it's funny because I was as excited as I was to meet them and to actually wrestle with them. I was very disappointed because I was like, great, we're on this great run for 10 days and now we're about to get squashed. Like, I just had this negative mindset about it.
No, it's just like, you fuckers ruined it for me.
Yeah.
And then you're my heroes. And fuck.
Now we're sitting there and they start telling us how they talk to Vince and how Vince says we're the future of tag team wrestling and WWF. And once it's taken care of and all this stuff. And long story short, we end up having a match with them, a 2-segment match. It wasn't a squash match. And back then, they didn't really do 2-segment matches.
No.
Only 3, 4, 5 minutes. So we did 2 segments. And then it was a double count out. And then they said at the end, we're like, wait a minute. So you're not squashing us? We have 2 segments and you're not beating us? And he was like, yeah, Vince wants us to protect you guys. So that's what we're going to do. He goes, all we ask is at the end, after the count out, we throw one of you in and we hit one of you with your finisher. And I'm like, I'll take it. I was like, I want to take it.
Absolutely.
All day long. I said, the only caveat is you have to flip me all the way over. I want to land on my stomach. I don't want to take the back bump. I want the whole thing. And they were like, are you sure? Because that's
This is a close line off the shoulders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the Doomsday device.
Yep.
So so they give me the whole thing. And it's great because as I'm describing all of this to you now in the book, I'm describing what I'm feeling about it. And then like I take the gimmick, I take the finish, and Glenn starts pulling me and I have my face down on the mat and I'm just laughing and smiling the entire time. So I'm like, holy shit. We got going to WrestleMania. We got action figures. I just took the Doomsday device and we didn't lose. And Glenn's like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, this is the greatest fucking day ever. Like,
wow, man.
Like all of that's going on. Like that's the backstory that I tell in the book is stories like that of what was going on when we found all that stuff out. So yeah, that's basically what the book is about.
Absolutely
I have
insane.
to ask, it's probably a given, but or is it the foreword to your book was written by Glenn, or who writes the foreword?
No, actually the foreword of my book was written by Matt Cardona.
Ah,
Matt did the forward. Matt and I just through, with his figures and stuff like that. Matt and I have become good friends.
Mhm.
Matt's one of those guys who I asked him to do it because he grew up watching me.
Right.
And now I've wrestled with him and for him, and then I have action figures because of him. So I wanted his perspective of the being a fan, but now being friends and then watching and being in the ring with me. Glenn, Glenn wrote a blurb, and I actually have that on the back of the book. Glenn's
Okay.
blurb will be on the back of the book. And then
Nice.
also a blurb in there. I had Godfather, Papa Shango, because he was my second match ever. And Papa's been, which is another great story that's in the book. The first time I wrestled Papa Shango, I was 3 weeks training.
Mm.
So Papa basically has been with me my entire career. He's been there, as much as, except for being on the road, but it's Papa, D'Lo, and Glenn are probably the three mainstays because D'Lo was down at the Monster Factory training, and then we met up with D'Lo in Smoky Mountain, and then obviously in WWF. So yeah, so those are the ones who wrote the little blurbs for the book.
Absolutely amazing, dude.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it's
Chaz, this is the worst part of our show. We want to hear all the dirt. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. This is the part where we want you to plug all your stuff, man, and get you out of here and let you have a good evening. So put all your Twitters, your socials, whatever you got.
everything's simple. All of my social media stuff is Chaz Mosh.
Okay.
Chaz Mosh is my website, chazmosh.com. Twitter's Chaz Mosh, Instagram's Chaz Mosh, TikTok's Chaz Mosh. Again, books on pre-order. You pre-order it, and with the pre-orders, I don't know if this is exciting or not. I thought it was kind of cool and different. Is anyone who pre-orders, I'm going to do a personal thank you video message and send it to the people. So you can pre-order the book now. You can get it unsigned, or you can purchase it signed. And then once they come in, then I'll sign them and mail them all out. Yeah, but that's on my website, chazmosh.com. You go there and you can buy the book.
Now, where do they go to order the book?
So as of now, it's through my website, and then once it's out, it's going to be through Amazon. I'm going to
Okay.
go to Amazon, and then from there, I'm going to get it on like Barnes and Noble. I had talked to a couple of larger publishers, and they all were like interested, and they wanted me to do a bunch of stuff to the book that I wasn't thrilled with. I mean, I had one publisher who basically wanted me to cut because they were worried about how many words were in the book. Basically, wanted me to cut it in half. And I was like, I don't know if I could do that. So I started talking to Kenny Casanova, who's
Yep.
WOHW Publishing. And Kenny and I met him through Tommy Fierro. And Kenny was like, hey, you don't have to. He goes, and he gave me a bunch of reasons why I don't want to go with them and a bunch of reasons why, to do it the way I'm doing it now. And, Kenny's like, I just want to help you publish it. I want to have my publishing thing in there. Like, Kenny didn't want any money from me. And so yeah, so it's just final editing now, and then it'll be so either through my website, you will always be obviously be able to get it through my website, or eventually, like I said, I think within the next week and a half or so, it'll be on Amazon.
Kenny's a good dude, by the way. He was on our show too as well.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. He texts me. Actually, I would say at least 2-3 times a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's really cool. He's a Hebner fan.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Well, who isn't?
Well, you didn't say you were until now.
Uh-huh.
Put your hand down, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Well, Daniel's driving and you can't see him. In the dark
Daniel,
yet, so-
keep 2 hands on the wheel, you stupid fuck.
Kenny's the one who helped bring this to the finish line because it's something I've been working on probably more off and on for 6 years up until last year. I was at a high school band reunion, and there's a girl there, Tori. She's a ghostwriter / editor. So I started talking to her, and she was like, hey, I'd love to read it, see if I could help you. And she started reading it and immediately like sent me a text. She's like, this is amazing. She goes, can I work on this project with you? I would love to. So I had her edit it, and right now it's going through like the final editing. Yeah, but she kind of, with her editing it, it kind of just motivated me more to get it done. I'm excited. Basically, the book has been done since like May of 2025. So now that it's coming out, I'm jacked, and I'm working on book number 2 now.
Now is
Oh,
this you yourself mostly writing this, or is there a ghostwriter too?
this is 100% me writing it.
Wow. So what
No,
do you
no
how do
ghost
you
writing.
okay, so how do you do it? Or what are you doing on a computer and just store it, or
Yeah, just do it on the computer. I started when I first started down at the Monster Factory in June of '93. The first probably 3 or 4 months, I journaled everything. I
oh
wrote.
my God, you're one of those guys.
I was for 3 or 4 months, and then I stopped. Uh,
Oh,
I actually wish I would have continued to do it. It would have made it easier. But the more like I started writing, and then I had that to go off of. But then like when we left, I kind of stopped when we went on the road. Uh,
mm,
went to USWA in April of '94, and but I was able. The more I started writing, I would sit at the computer. I got very um, scheduled and regimen, I guess, with it. I don't know the word. But I would sit and I would just type for an hour. And then the more I started typing, the more I started remembering things. And then I kept a side note of, okay, this story pops up in my head. I got to talk about this. I got to talk about that. Then I would just keep writing. And then at the end of the day, I would take 2 hours, an hour twice a day, and I would type. And then before I went to bed, I sat there and I just went over it. And then I go, okay. And I would bullet point, okay, the stuff to write about tomorrow, the next day. And that's what I did. And then sometimes there were some tough parts in there that the book is, I wanted the book to be 100% transparent, honest, and open. And I'm very vulnerable in the book. I talk about my insecurities. I talk about why this didn't work, like knowing what I know now, what I would have done differently, um, certain things like that. So I got pretty vulnerable in the book. Um, but yeah, so what I get, there's a couple of parts where I didn't, there was, I'm trying to figure out the right way to say this. There's a couple of parts where I know other people would have gotten hurt. So I kind of had to get around that because there was times when there was a lot of friction with Glenn and I, and it was part of my story. It was part of what we were going through, what we are doing. So I had to get it in there. So those parts made it difficult. And those were probably the parts where I stepped away for a while, where I'd step away for 3 or 4 weeks. And then I'd be like, that's all I thought about. I was like, how do I get around it? How do I get around it? And then once I figured out a way to tell the story to get it across without hurting feelings, then I was able to do it.
hmm.
And then there's certain people like, I guess the easiest way to say it, whatever I don't want my son to know is not in the book.
Okay. That's a fair, I get it.
And those things will be told to him with a cigar and a glass of whiskey around the campfire.
There you
There you
go.
go.
For him, tequila, because he'll only drink tequila because that's the cleanest, purest thing he can put in his body as far as alcohol goes. That's what he tells me anyway. But that's the base of it. So for me, it was just taking the time and sitting there and being disciplined enough to just start typing away. And I guess the one positive out of one of the bigger publishing companies I spoke to, he wanted me, he said, he goes, I'm halfway through your book. He goes, and I'm invested. He goes, I think this is great. He said, but I'm also now invested in what happened to you when you left WWE in 2002. How did you end up where you are? He said, he goes, would you be willing or have you thought about writing about that? And I said, I hadn't thought about it. I go, but I'm not opposed to it. So he goes, great. He goes, give me a little synopsis of that. I want to read it. I want to know if that needs to be in this book or if that's a separate project. The more I started typing that out, the more I started thinking, this is a totally different book. It's a whole nother book of how I went from wrestling, not knowing it, from a wallflower to being a wrestling, superstar or Wonderwall, whatever it says, whatever it is. But then during the story of my career, of my insecurities, and then when I leave, how my insecurities hurt me even more, how I hid from who I was. And until all of a sudden, when the business world that I'm in now, I embrace it, I use it, I have the greatest icebreaker ever now, and kind of how that evolved to me to be in the business that I'm in now.
That's really fucking cool, dude.
So it's thank you. It's yeah, it's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. No, it's not kind of cool. It's fucking cool, dude. It really is. That's awesome.
It's
I
funny
think
'cause
what I think what I think what like threw Brian off the most is the fact that you actually use a computer and know how to use it. I think that's what because he don't know how to use one. I think that's what threw him off the most uh,
He
there.
probably thought you wrote well. Maybe in '93 you wrote everything down, but
And even in '93, because I still have those notes. I actually should. Oh, that reminds me, I should take a picture of those.
You should. That should have been in the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah, and get those in the book. That's a good idea. All right, so I got to send those to Kenny. But if even trying to go back and read my handwriting from then was bad. I know what my handwriting is now. It says for business, when I do business appointments now, I just write. And then I go, oh yeah, this got to go with that. I circle things and I draw arrows and squares around shit, so I know what
Right.
it's supposed to mean. But if I hand wrote all that, no, I wouldn't even be able to. It wouldn't be legible at all. Like I need to type.
Well, dude, we really do appreciate your time, man. I really, really do. And this has been awesome and amazing, man. We get to tell some kayfabe stories, talk about your book, and I don't know how much cooler we could be, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. It is. Listen, I've had a fun ride. It's been a fun career. We're like we talked about earlier. We're winding down. July 23rd, 2026 will be our Glenn and my. It'll be the final headbanger match in the ring. We're doing it with Tommy Fierro and his ISPW. Nice. We're doing it in Wildwood, New Jersey, at the convention center. And I know Tommy's going to make it great. He's going to make it special for us, and I'm looking forward to that. And listen, I'm just looking forward to people reading the book and hopefully getting something out of it and enjoying it. And yeah, it's cool. It's fun.
Yeah. I know you're trying to make money on this, but I'd like you to send me one free when you get one. Just saying.
Just saying. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't say yeah. You just said saying, yeah. Okay, bro.
I'm just saying, go to chazmosh.com. You can find.
That a boy.
There you go.
That a boy.
Awesome,
well, dude. Thank you so much, man.
No problem. Thank you. I appreciate you having me on. This is
Hope
awesome.
you had fun.
I had fun. This is a good time.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Good to see you again, Chad.
Good to see you again, Jimmy.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you.
We'll cross paths one day. Trust me, we'll cross paths.
Eventually, we'll see each other in person.
Yes.
Yes, sir.